Hey, don't you dare scroll past this video. I'm serious. This could be the moment that changes everything for you, your family, your dreams. Imagine standing at a crossroads where one choice could unlock a flood of blessings, a fresh start you've been praying for. God is speaking directly to you right now, not through some distant whisper, but with a voice that cuts through the noise of your struggles. Whether you're a freelancer grinding late nights, a content creator chasing your next big break, an entrepreneur betting it all on your vision, or just someone wrestling with life's chaos, this message is for you. Skip this, and you might miss the door to a new chapter, one filled with hope, healing, and purpose. God's got a plan, and it's bigger than your doubts or fears. He's begging you to listen, to lean in, to trust Him. Hit that play button, stick around, and share this with someone who needs it. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Don't let it slip away. The moment you've been waiting for is closer than you think. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a storm, the kind that shakes your core. Maybe it's a missed deadline that cost you a client, a bank account that's running on fumes, or a heart heavy with doubts about your next step. You're a freelancer pouring your soul into late-night gigs, a content creator wondering if your work will ever break through, an entrepreneur who's bet everything on a dream that feels like it's slipping away. The weight of it all presses down, and the scars of past failures, those moments you replay in your mind, sting like open wounds. But right now, in this very moment, God is reaching out to you. He's not some distant figure in the sky. He's here, whispering hope into the chaos, promising a new dawn after your darkest night. God sees you right where you are. He knows the tears you've cried alone, the prayers you've whispered in the quiet of your apartment, the fears that keep you up at 2 a.m. when the world feels too heavy to carry. He's saying, I've got you. Your pain, your struggles, your setbacks, they're not the end of your story. They're the raw material He's using to weave something beautiful, something new. Like a master artist, He's threading His grace through every broken piece of your life, stitching together a tapestry of redemption. The wounds that once cut deep, those rejections, those moments of self-doubt, those times you felt like you failed your family or yourself, are being touched by His healing hand. He's not just patching you up, He's making you whole, restoring joy to a heart that's known too much sorrow. Think about it. You've been through nights so dark you couldn't see a way out. Maybe it was the client who ghosted you after weeks of work, the video that flopped despite all your effort, or the business idea that crashed before it could take off. But God is promising you a sunrise. He's saying that the tears you've shed are about to dry because He's heard every single prayer you've prayed. Your faith, even when it's felt as small as a mustard seed, has moved mountains you can't yet see. He's been working behind the scenes, aligning things in your favor, turning your hustle into a harvest. That job you lost, that dream you thought died, God's got a plan to bring it back to life, better than you could have imagined. He's not just fixing what's broken. He's giving you a fresh start, a blank page in the story of your life. And here's the truth you need to hold on to. God's got your back. You're not out here fighting alone. When you're grinding through another sleepless night, trying to make ends meet, or dodging the haters who say your dreams are too big, God is your shield. He's been protecting you in ways you might not even realize. That car accident you narrowly avoided on the freeway? That illness that could have taken you out but didn't? That moment when you felt a strange peace despite the chaos? That was Him. He's been standing guard, sending His angels to fight battles you can't see, keeping dangers at bay, and confusing the plans of anyone trying to tear you down. The Bible says in Psalm 91, He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That's not just poetry, it's a promise. God's got a heavenly army watching over you, ready to step in when the enemy tries to mess with your soul. You might not see it now, but God's been at work, shielding you from traps you didn't even know were there. Maybe it was a shady business deal that fell through at the last second, a toxic relationship you walked away from, or a temptation to give up when you were so close to a breakthrough. He's been steering you clear of disasters, both physical and spiritual, because you're His treasure. He loves you with a fierce, unshakable love that doesn't waver, no matter how many times you've stumbled. As a freelancer, you know what it's like to hustle for every dollar. As a content creator, you pour your heart into every post, hoping it resonates. As an entrepreneur, you've risked it all for a vision only you can see. God sees that hustle, that heart, that risk, and He's promising to honor it. But here's the key: you've got to trust Him. Trust that His timing is perfect, even when it feels like everything's falling apart. That client who didn't pay on time? That video that didn't go viral? That pitch that got rejected? They're not the end of the road. God's the master of opportunities, and He's opening doors no one can shut. Revelation 3 verse 8 says, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is yours, and it's leading to a future filled with hope, not despair. Your job is to keep walking toward it, even when the path feels uncertain. Keep your faith burning bright, like a candle that refuses to go out, even in the strongest wind. God's not asking you to have it all figured out. He's asking you to believe He does. For every one of you out there hustling, creating, dreaming, God's got a message. Your breakthrough is coming. It's not some far-off dream. It's close, like the next sunrise. He's weaving His grace around you, turning your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength. You're not just a freelancer scraping by, you're a creator made in the image of the ultimate creator. You're not just an entrepreneur taking risks, you're a visionary carrying a spark of God's divine plan. The late nights, the self-doubt, the financial strain, they're all part of a story that's still being written, and God's the author who never leaves a story unfinished. So hold fast to that truth. When the world feels like it's closing in, when the bills pile up, the algorithm buries your content, or the investors say no, remember that God's got a miracle waiting. It's not just a feel-good moment, it's a divine touch that's going to light up your path with hope and fulfillment. He's not promising a life without challenges, but He's promising to walk with you through every one of them. Your heart, which has known the sting of rejection and the weight of failure, is about to feel a joy only God can give. Your journey, whether it's building a YouTube channel, launching a startup, or just trying to make it through another day, is under His care. He's lifting you up, wrapping you in His love, and guiding you toward a victory that's already yours. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. You're not alone in this. God's hand is on you, His angels are around you, and His promises are for you. Keep pushing forward, keep creating, keep believing. The dawn is coming, and it's going to be glorious. Life can feel like a battlefield sometimes, can't it? One day you're riding high, landing a new client or posting a video that's gaining traction, and the next, you're hit with a wave of doubt, criticism, or a setback that makes you question everything. Maybe it's a snarky comment on your latest YouTube upload, a client who trashes your work after weeks of revisions, or a business deal that falls apart just when you thought you'd made it. You're out there as a freelancer, hustling for every gig, a content creator pouring your heart into every frame, or an entrepreneur betting it all on a dream. The world throws punches, gossip, rejection, financial strain, and it's tempting to fight back with anger or spiral into worry. But God's got a better way. He's not just watching from the sidelines. He's your friend, your protector, your strength, and He's got a game plan for you to rise above it all. First, let's talk about those voices trying to tear you down. You know the ones: co-workers whispering behind your back, online trolls leaving nasty comments, or even that inner critic replaying every mistake you've made. They want to rattle you, to steal your peace, to make you feel like you're not enough. Maybe someone called your startup a pipe dream or said your content will never go viral. It stings, and it's easy to let those words sink in, to let them define you. But God's saying, don't give them that power. He's wrapped you in His arms, like a shield no lie can penetrate. Psalm 55 verse 22 says, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken." When the haters come for you, don't fire back with anger or let fear take the wheel. Take a deep breath, maybe step away from your laptop, and speak His truth instead. Say it out loud if you have to: God's got me. Their words can't touch me. His promises are stronger than any slander, and they'll break the chains of worry before they can take root. Living by faith isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a way of life, especially when you're navigating the ups and downs of freelancing, creating, or building a business. The world will tempt you to fix everything yourself, to hustle harder, to chase quick fixes like shady deals or cutting corners to get ahead. But God's calling you to something deeper. He's saying, trust me, not your own plans. When you're up late worrying about bills, refreshing your YouTube analytics, or stressing over a pitch that didn't land, pause. Hand it over to Him. Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7 tells us, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. That peace isn't some abstract idea. It's a calm that settles over you when you let go and let God take control. Instead of doom scrolling through bad news or obsessing over what went wrong, pray. Thank Him for what's coming, even if you can't see it yet. That's faith in action, and it's how you build a life that's steady, no matter what storms come. You're not alone in this fight, either. God's got a whole army backing you up, angels, warriors in the spiritual realm, fighting battles you don't even see. You might not feel it when you're grinding through another all-nighter or dodging curveballs like a sudden expense or a client bailing on you, but God's been there. He's stopped accidents before they could happen, turned away illnesses before they reached your doorstep, and shut down plans from people who meant you harm. Maybe you've had those moments, a near miss on the highway, a deal that fell through but saved you from trouble, a gut feeling that kept you from making a bad call. That's God's supernatural protection at work. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the powers of this dark world. Those haters, those setbacks, those doubts, they're not just random. They're part of a bigger fight, and God's heavenly warriors are on your side, swinging swords to defend you. Trust that He's got you covered, even when you can't see the battles being fought. But here's the hard part: perseverance. Life doesn't always hand you instant wins. Sometimes it's a long grind, weeks of pitching to clients who say no, months of posting content that doesn't catch fire, years of building a business that hasn't taken off yet. The pain of rejection, the weight of failure, the exhaustion of keeping at it, it's real. God knows it. He's seen every tear you've cried, every moment you've wanted to quit. He was there when you doubted yourself, when you wondered if you're cut out for this. And He's saying, keep going. He's not promising a life without suffering, but He's promising to walk with you through it. James 1 verse 12 says, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life. Your struggles are shaping you, not breaking you. They're forging a resilience, a faith, a strength that no one can take away. So when you're tired, when the odds feel stacked against you, hold on to God's hand. He's leading you to freedom, to victory, to a place where you'll stand tall and know your worth. And here's one more thing God's asking you to do: share this hope. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're carrying a light for your family, your friends, your community. Maybe it's your kids, watching you hustle and pray, learning what faith looks like. Maybe it's a fellow freelancer who needs to hear they're not alone, or a content creator who's one step away from giving up. Tell them about God's plan, about how He's got a purpose for their lives too. Share this message, not just by hitting the share button, but by living it out. Show up with courage, with gratitude, with a heart that refuses to be shaken. Tell them what God's told you. Everything happens for a reason. Even the losses, the closed doors, the plans that fell apart, they're all part of His bigger story. Romans 8 verse 28 says, in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. That's not just a verse, it's a truth you can carry into every meeting, every post, every dream you chase. So keep your eyes on God. When the world tries to drown you in worry or pull you down with lies, stand firm. Speak His truth, pray His promises, and walk forward with faith. You're not just a freelancer, a creator, or an entrepreneur. You're a child of God, chosen, protected, and destined for victory. Keep pushing, keep believing, and watch Him turn your battles into breakthroughs. You're out there, grinding through the chaos of life, and sometimes it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world. Maybe you're a freelancer juggling multiple gigs, barely making ends meet, or a content creator pouring your soul into videos that don't get the views you hoped for. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur who's poured every dollar and every dream into a startup, only to face setbacks that make you question if you're on the right path. The doubts creep in, those quiet moments at night when you wonder if you're enough, if your mistakes have pushed you too far from grace, or if God's even listening. But let me tell you something, God's not just listening. He's speaking loud and clear, with a love so deep it cuts through every fear, every failure, every moment you felt alone. He's right here, holding you close, and He's got a message you need to hear. You are never too far gone for His love. God's love for you isn't like the fleeting approval of a client or the likes on your latest post. It's not conditional, not based on how many subscribers you have, how much money's in your bank account, or how many times you've messed up. He loved you when you were at your lowest, when you missed that deadline and lost a gig, when you snapped at someone you love out of stress, when you doubted your calling as a creator or entrepreneur. He loved you when you wandered off, chasing quick fixes or listening to voices that told you you're not enough. And He loves you now, with a fierce, unchanging love that no mistake can break. John 3 verse 16 isn't just a verse on a bumper sticker, it's a promise. For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son. That love is for you, right now, no matter what you've done or where you've been. But the world will try to pull you away from that truth. It'll tempt you with lies, with distractions, with things that glitter but don't last. Maybe it's the coworker who says your startup's a long shot, the online troll who mocks your faith, or the whisper in your head that says you're failing because of some curse or bad luck. God's got a warning for you. Don't buy into that nonsense. Those ideas, spells, superstitions, or so-called bad vibes, they're smoke and mirrors designed to steal your peace. The enemy wants you to believe in horoscopes, in manifesting without God, in anything that pulls you away from the truth of His power. But here's the reality. No spell, no curse, no lie has any authority over you. Jesus took every chain, every burden, every sin to the cross. Colossians 2 verse 15 says He disarmed the powers and authorities, making a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross. You're not under a curse, you're under His protection, covered by His blood, and nothing in this world can touch that. And when it comes to your mistakes, God's not keeping score. You might look back and cringe at the times you cut corners to make a quick buck, lashed out in frustration, or gave up on a dream because it felt too hard. Maybe you're carrying guilt over a failed project, a broken relationship, or a choice that cost you big. But God's not up there shaking His head, ready to punish you. He's not the one piling on the shame. That's the enemy's game. God's heart is tender toward you. When you come to Him, broken and sorry, He doesn't turn you away. He forgives completely and forever. 1 John 1 verse 9 promises, if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. That's not just a clean slate, it's a fresh start. Your past doesn't define you, His grace does. So let go of the guilt that's weighing you down. You're not a failure, you're a child of God, redeemed and ready for what's next. So how do you step into that truth, especially when life feels like it's coming at you from all sides? It starts with prayer. Not the kind of prayer you recite by rote, but the kind where you pour out your heart, raw and real. Maybe you're sitting in your home office, staring at a screen full of unanswered emails, or lying awake at night, wondering how you'll pay the bills. Take a moment, right there, in the mess, and talk to God. You don't need fancy words or a perfect setting. Just close your eyes, breathe, and let it out. Tell Him about the client who ghosted you, the video that flopped, the investor who said no. Lay your fears, your doubts, your dreams at his feet. Psalm 62 verse 8 says, "Trust in him at all times, you people, pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge." That's where you'll find peace, not in chasing more followers or forcing a breakthrough, but in resting in his presence. When you pray like that, something shifts. The chaos doesn't disappear, but it loses its grip on you. You start to feel a calm that doesn't make sense, a strength that carries you through the grind. Maybe you're a freelancer who's been burned out, wondering if you should throw in the towel. Or a content creator who's tired of the algorithm game, feeling like your work's invisible. Or an entrepreneur who's one bad day away from quitting. God's saying, "I see you and I'm with you." He's not promising a life without problems, but he's promising to be your anchor through them. When you pray, you're not just talking, you're tapping into his power, his peace, his plan. And that plan is bigger than any setback, any critic, any doubt. This is the truth you need to hold on to. God's not angry with you. He's not plotting your downfall or holding your mistakes against you. He's not the one sending the struggles. That's just life in a broken world. But he is the one who's there, ready to lift you up, to guide you through, to turn your pain into purpose. You're a freelancer, a creator, an entrepreneur, but above all, you're his. He's calling you to trust him, to pray boldly, to reject the lies that say you're cursed or unworthy. He's calling you to a life of peace, not panic, of faith, not fear. So take that step today. Pause, pray, and let his love wash over you. Your story's not over, it's just getting started, and God's writing the best chapters yet. You've walked a long road, haven't you? As an entrepreneur, you've weathered market crashes and sleepless nights. As a freelancer, you've hustled through lean times. As a content creator, you've poured your heart into work that sometimes goes unseen. But God sees every step, every tear, every dream you've carried. He's promising you victory, not just for today, but for eternity. Your faith, weathered by years of trials, is planting seeds of hope that will bloom for your children, your grandchildren, your legacy. Even if you don't see the harvest in your lifetime, trust that God's writing a story that echoes beyond you. Romans 15 verse 13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him." Hold fast to that. You're not defined by past failures or fading dreams. You're his masterpiece, valued beyond measure. So stand tall, fearless, and let his love guide you. Your life's work, your grit, your faith, it's building something eternal. Don't give up now. Keep praying, keep creating, keep believing. Subscribe to our channel for more messages to fuel your journey, like this video to spread hope, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. God's got you, today and always. Now go live like you believe it.